Hello, sorted.
There are certain songs that don't just bring back memories, they bring back feelings. The feeling of being loved, of being cared for, of knowing that no matter what, someone was always there for you. Welcome to Reminiscence in Chords, where we relive the soundtrack of our lives. For this episode, I will start with a poetry. It goes thus. For most people, she's the first voice we ever heard, a lullaby before we knew the words. The hands that held us, the heart so wide, a love that never wavers, never hides. Through weary nights and brightest days, she walks with us in quiet ways. Her laughter lingers, her lessons stay, like echoes time won't wash away. On this episode, we honor that love, not just in words, but in music, a song that carries her warmth, her wisdom, her grace. A Song for Mama by Boyz II Men is the song of the day. This heartfelt ballad was released in 1997. Written and produced by one of my favorite musicians, a legend. I'm talking about Babyface. I really like the song, and it's not just because of the writer and the melody. I do also like it because it is a beautiful tribute to mothers, expressing gratitude and love, emphasizing on how a mother's unconditional love is irreplaceable. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. It's unexplainable. And as you can imagine, I got a lot of entries for this episode, but I will only share some, and perhaps I'm thinking maybe I will make a part 2 of this episode. We'll see. Music has a way of tying us to memories, especially when it comes to our mothers. Sebastian shares that when growing up, his mother worked 2 jobs just to make sure he had everything he needed. She would come home late, exhausted, yet she still found the strength to ask about his day, help with his homework, and make sure he felt loved. So this is what Sebastian did. He said when he got his first job, he surprised her with a simple gift, a pair of comfortable shoes. Yeah, when I read that, I asked myself, why shoes? But listen, he said because she was always on her feet. When she got the gift, she cried. Not because of the gift itself, because she realized that he had been paying attention all along. That's a mother's love. It teaches when it doesn't speak. Thank you for sharing that beautiful memory with us, Sebastian.
Reminiscence in Chords.
Another beautiful story from a colleague, Elizabeth. Shout out to you, Elizabeth. She shared that growing up, her mom was everyone's mom. She was always there for her and her brother with a smile and a listening ear, both of which she extended to anyone else they decided to bring around the house. She said she instilled very early on in both of them that her main expectation was for them to grow to be compassionate and caring human beings, first and foremost, to mind their manners and to always put forth their best effort in any task they took on. Elizabeth has always sincerely believed that if she could grow to be even 1/3 of the woman that she is, then she would have succeeded. Elizabeth recalls one year during elementary school when her mom went out and bought one of her friend's school supplies because the friend's parents were struggling. Aww. No questions asked, and she wouldn't take any money for it. What a beautiful mom. Lisa's mother fed that same friend dinner and drove her home every night that year. She was the mom who would chauffeur her and her friends to places to make sure they were safe. Her friends referred to her as the cool mom because they could be open about their experiences with her and receive thoughtful and honest advice without judgment. To this day, Elizabeth says her mom is still mom to everyone and anyone who might need it. Is she looking for another child? I love how personal and meaningful that was. It's stories like these that make this show special. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Reminiscence in Chords.
This episode's song is so special to me for different reasons, and I can imagine it is for some people or most people. This was the song that I would listen to just to think about my mom and wish she was still alive. I lost my mom a year after the song was released. I felt, and I still feel, that we didn't have enough time together because I was so young when she passed. She was sick and we were in different countries. Most of my memories about her have faded, unfortunately, but one of the ones that stand out was the last time I spoke to her. I remember I was at a family's friend's house with my siblings to talk to her, and a few days before then, I had started the lady's stuff. I was so excited to share with her, but I was very uncomfortable to discuss it with everyone lurking around and no privacy. So I was speaking very low, Mom, I've started that stuff, what you talked to me about. She couldn't hear me and she got frustrated and said, you know what, let's just talk about this some other time because I'm in the hospital. I don't have a lot of time to spend on the phone. There, I was shocked. I was like, Mom, what are you doing in the hospital? And she said, oh, I came to see a friend of mine. Yeah, but that was a lie. She was in the hospital because she was sick and she didn't want me to know. I still think about that day and wish that I had tuned everyone out and just spoke. And that time when I would listen to the song, I'll play a scene in my head because a best friend told me at a later time. I didn't know she passed for so many months. I was told after a few months. At the time she died, I was about to write an exam. My family did not want me to have that on my mind, I guess. That best friend told me that she had been given 4 days to live. And all she was worried about was me. How is she going to navigate this life without me? I need you to take care of her. You need to do this for her. You need to do that for her. I just don't know how she's going to do this. She's going to do this life without me. When I would listen to the song, I'll just play it in my head, thinking and acting out how her last breath was. I didn't really understand death at the time. It was many tough years for me. Even though it's been 2 decades, it still feels like yesterday. And I think people that are in my shoes can understand that also you never get over something like this. You just learn to adapt. I miss you, Mom. Remember to always appreciate your mothers while you still can. And not just mothers, fathers, guardians, special people in your life. Not every mother is the one who gave birth to you. Sometimes the most powerful motherly love comes from a grandmother, an aunt, or even someone who stepped in when you needed it the most. The song reminds us that Mama is not just a title. It's a love that shapes us no matter who it comes from. That's a wrap for now. Thank you for being part of this musical journey. The soundtrack of life never stops. Every song tells a story and every memory is a melody in time. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. Keep listening, keep remembering, and I will see you next time.